Remember those times over the past few years where we talked about the possibility that things like deep fakes and other sorts of video manipulations could make their way into an American political campaign? Well, we are way there already, with multiple videos being shared far and wide that are 100% dishonest. And joining us now to break it down is reporter at The Wrap, Lindsay Ellefson. Welcome back to the Damage Report.
Hi, nice to be back.
It's good to have you here. So you wrote recently about some video manipulations that were done of Joe Biden. What form did those come in?
All right, so that particular one that I wrote about was an old interview from about 7 or 8 years ago of Harry Belafonte, who fell asleep during an interview where he was supposed to be on television, and they talked to him and he was just out. His representative at the time said that he wasn't asleep, but you can watch the video and decide for yourself. For people in Trump's orbit, people who work at the White House, in particular, the communications director and social media person at the White House shared a mock-up of this video where instead of Harry Belafonte a couple years ago being asleep, it's Joe Biden. And it's just Joe Biden appearing to be looking down, his eyes are closed, he looks like he's asleep. If you weren't paying close attention, you would really think that he was. There were even some snoring sounds added in there. And there was no wording shared with the video. There was no caption. It's just a fake video with a screen of Biden looking like he's passed out while he's supposed to be on television.
And how did Twitter react to this once it was relatively quickly discovered that it wasn't authentic?
Yeah, Twitter put a little badge on it that said that was manipulated media, that it qualified for the badge, which isn't exactly rare. They've been using that badge. They used it again on Sunday. Actually, Steve Scalise shared a manipulated media as well, but he deleted his video. So Twitter had 2 high-profile uses of manipulated media over the weekend, and that was just one of them, the phony sleeping Biden interview that never really happened.
And so I understand those are 2 different sources. One is sort of the Trump campaign, the other is Steve Scalise. They're not necessarily directly connected, but what is the response from those groups when it's discovered that they've manipulated things like this?
Steve Scalise, with his tweet, which was also a Biden interview, a real Biden interview that was manipulated to include words that didn't actually happen in the order that they're presented in the video that he tweeted, he took his down. But that's because the activist who conducted the interview actually asked him directly to take the video down, and he complied, but had excuses saying, well, we added in these words from other parts of the interview to make it clearer what was going on. As far as Trump world with the phony sleeping Biden interview, nothing really. I saw a lot of fans rallying and saying, this is clearly a meme, it's funny, and you can get away with that. There's plausible deniability because there was no caption. There was nothing to indicate that they were saying it was real. They just posted the video and backed off.
Yeah, and look, that's what they're gonna say when they get caught. But I don't think it is unfair to say the idea is to put it out there so that some people will believe that this happened. It's one thing for a fan of Trump to put something together. It's another for someone affiliated with the campaign to put it out there. And we can say, well, they didn't say it was real, but they also very clearly didn't imply that it was fake or a joke or a meme or whatever.
I was going to say, if I were in charge of social media for a campaign like that, that would be the tactic that I used too. I didn't say it was real. I didn't say that it wasn't real. I didn't say anything. I just posted the video and let you decide if what you saw with your own eyes was real or fake. And if you weren't familiar with the Harry Belafonte video, which went viral years ago, why wouldn't you believe it?
Has there been any indication from either Twitter or Facebook or anywhere else where future manipulations like this might be spread that they're going to take this more seriously, particularly in the context of a political campaign?
Definitely. I feel every few weeks there's some new thing, especially on Twitter. Maybe they will label a Trump tweet, or they will hide a Trump tweet, or they will ask for a video to be removed. They will lock different affiliated accounts who are sharing misleading or inappropriate things. Like, this is sort of a news cycle that we see repeated every few days, especially as Trump and people in his orbit are tweeting out things that are maybe inappropriate, or in some cases a little bit dangerous, like when he tweeted out, when the looting starts, the shooting starts, that one got covered up by Twitter. But they always say, oh, we take this seriously. Oh, we have meetings. We're looking into how we can prevent stuff like this happening in the future. And so far, it just looks like when there's a tweet that reaches a certain level, they put the little badge on it. You can click the badge. You can get the real information. And I think we will be seeing more of that, if not because they're being more serious, but because maybe we're going to be seeing more ridiculous tweets.
I think that's a pretty safe bet. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.